We all know that life as a student is absolutely insane at times. Every one of us has to deal with all kinds of pressure every day. Between class, studying, exams, clubs, relationships, sports, volunteering, keeping in touch with our friends and families, and working one or more jobs just so we can afford to do what we do, it's no wonder that many students feel overwhelmed. In recent years, media, the government, and university administration have started to pay more attention to the subject of mental health on campus. In fact, we've found that there are more supports in place for student mental wellness on campus now than there have ever been. That being said, the mental health support system at the university is fragmented, making it more difficult for students who may be struggling to access the help they need. There is no unified resource to direct students to the relevant supports, and as such, students continue to struggle with their mental wellness. In a moment, we will show you the stories of 3 students, each of whom are facing their own unique kind of pressure, academic, financial, or social. Chances are that you have experienced similar challenges at some point in your life. If you're like me, soon enough you'll be asking yourself this: how can we improve the fragmented mental health support system at the university for students like these 3, who don't know where to turn when facing challenges to their mental well-being, who don't think their issues may be important enough to talk to someone about, and who think they have to deal with this all on their own?
Everything started with a few long nights. If I could just make it through one day at a time, I could make it through the semester. But soon, everything was piling up. I was barely sleeping, skipping breakfast, the gym was a foreign place, and nothing was paying off. I constantly felt like I didn't have time to do my best on my assignments. Then, I bombed a midterm. I had studied a lot, and I didn't feel like there was anything else I could have done to prepare. I wanted to speak to my professor, but their office hours were too busy. Everyone said I could make up for it on the final. But how was I supposed to do well on the final when I thought I was ready for this midterm and it hadn't gone well? I was starting to feel hopeless. I came to university because I loved science. School had always been easy for me. I loved my classes and I got good grades. In university, though, it felt like the opposite. Chances at a specialized program were starting to look slim. How would I ever meet the requirements? I needed a break. Reading week helped, but it flew by, and then I was back to my rushed rhythm. And it's not like I hadn't been productive, there just wasn't enough time. I was starting to wonder if I was cut out for university. Everyone I reached out to just assumed I wasn't managing my time correctly, but I knew it was more than that. I just didn't know what to do about it. It didn't feel right to seek professional help, because I didn't feel like my problems were serious enough. So I kept it all to myself, and every year, the problem recurred. Eventually, this was just who I was. These grades became normal, and I stopped being surprised or expecting anything better.
Hello? Oh, hey man, how's it going? Good, yeah. Oh, tonight? Yeah, no, sorry, I actually already have plans tonight. Yeah. Yeah, thanks for the invite though. Okay. Okay, yeah, I'll talk to you later. Bye. When my friends would invite me to go out with them, I'd have to tell them I was busy. I didn't have a choice. I just didn't have the money for it. I hated lying to my friends. But their parents are paying for their education. There's no way they would have understood my situation. Paying for university all on my own has definitely taught me its value. Believe me, I take my classes very seriously after shelling out thousands of dollars for them every semester. But after the long hours I had to pull just to make ends meet, I barely had the energy for the classes I worked so hard to pay for. It was a really, really vicious cycle. I was always so stressed about my finances, to the point that it was interfering with my schoolwork and my social life. Factor in rent and food on top of tuition and books, and by the end of the week, I'd have nothing left. I'd be lucky if I could just keep a positive bank balance. It would have helped me a lot if I knew where I could turn when I felt worried about money. I knew there must be an easier way to manage the financial pressures of student life. There must be.
Before I moved to Edmonton to go to university, I had it all. Lots of friends, lots of time to spend with my family. I really missed the connection, now that I wasn't able to see those people every day. Being lonely was even beginning to affect my marks. You would think that without friends to distract me, I have spent way more time studying, but I just couldn't focus. I really missed working through our tough problems with my classmates, or celebrating together after a test. I would hear all these people talking about going out with their friends on the weekend, and I wonder, why can't that be me? Everyone in my own discipline just seemed so busy with their own lives, and no one was just going to reach out to someone they didn't know. So how would I make the first move? I had tried and failed so many times that I was just about to give up. This school is full of all kinds of people, but I couldn't seem to connect with any of them. I wished I just had someone to talk to, or someone who would understand what I was going through.
As you've just seen, students are consistently facing a variety of academic, social, and financial pressures. And yet, in spite of all the great resources that exist on campus, sometimes students are not sure where to turn to find support. At the University of Alberta, our mental health support system is there, but it's fragmented. We want to change that. What if every student, when they felt overwhelmed, knew exactly where to turn? What if every student was able to find the supports relevant to their individual circumstances almost immediately? What if every support service at the U of A, the entire student support network, was accessible through one easy-to-use system? What if all of this took place online? Now, this system, this portal, this resource, whatever you want to call it, could come in many different forms. It could be an app, a website, anything. The point is, it would be accessible, convenient, and a proactive way for the University of Alberta to support student mental wellness. If made a reality, a system such as this would change the way U of A students find and access support services. Moving forward, we see this new resource as a key component of an increasingly integrated mental wellness strategy on the University of Alberta campus. But don't take my word for it. Look at how making this change could help the 3 students we met earlier.
I felt completely overwhelmed trying to manage my stress on my own, but having access to the U of A's mental health portal helped me find the resources I needed to improve my grades. Based on my academic problems, the site directed me to the Student Success Center, a resource for students struggling with coursework. I had never heard of it before, but the portal helped me set up a personalized appointment with the academic support staff. They helped me get back on track by teaching me how to manage my time better and study more effectively. Now, I feel way more prepared to tackle the demands of my courses. The portal also matched me with a tutor from the Students' Union Tutor Registry, based on the courses I was struggling in. The one-on-one help has helped me improve my grades tremendously. My marks are gradually improving, and so is my mental health. Making sure I sleep, exercise, and relax with friends has made me more productive and alert. I'm back to a healthy routine, but if I slip back into my old habits, I know where to find the help I need.
When I accessed the University of Alberta mental health portal, it became clear that I could improve my mental health by getting in control of my financial situation. The portal also provided me with lists of scholarships and bursaries for students in financial need. I used to struggle with applying for financial aid because I never really knew where to direct my energies. The prospect of a time-consuming search would prevent me from even applying. To relieve some pressure in the short term, the portal recommended that I first visit the campus food bank. The emergency supply of food I was able to access made a big difference when I needed it most. The portal has made it easier for me to find the right financial support. I feel like my time is well spent and my efforts are paying off. Now that I have a little more wiggle room in my budget, I don't feel as guilty about spending money with my friends or on things that make me happy. Going to university is a significant investment in my future, and I'm glad I don't have to sacrifice my present mental well-being just to keep studying.
When I felt completely isolated and hopeless, the U of A's mental health portal directed me to the Peer Support Center, where I found people willing to listen to my struggles. We talked about strategies for approaching people and making friends. They also assured me that I wasn't going through this alone. And it was so validating to hear that lots of other students struggle in social situations too. The mental health portal also encouraged me to look past my own academic niche to meet new people. It recommended several clubs and events that I didn't even know existed, where I was able to meet people with similar interests and experiences. Lately, I'm stepping outside my comfort zone more and more, and I've gained the confidence to try new things, and I've made friends with some really interesting people along the way. I'm in a much better place now, and I know that wherever challenges school throws in my path in the future, I'll be able to find people there to support me.
Supporting student mental wellness in an effective way is a challenge. A wide variety of stakeholders, including governments, universities, and student groups, are all working to support mental health on campuses across the country. Many great, future-oriented programs and strategies are in the works. But what if they were to come together to make a difference right now? By creating a centralized mental health resource, we could make sure that every student would have one place to go in order to find the help that is right for them. By doing this, we would make it easier to deal with the pressures of student life. Earlier, we asked, what if this was possible? Instead, maybe the question should be, what's stopping us from making it a reality?